Hello Cancer, welcome to your January 2026 reading. This is the Guidance Corner. My name is Christelle. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you Spirit for being here. Now for the January readings with these Let Go cards, I was told to just shuffle them and not look at them, and just whatever card showed up, there was going to be a message in there for you just before we even pull out the other cards. And I love this card for you, Cancer. It's almost like she's tapped into her inner beauty and now that spills out into the world. There's almost a sense of when we find fulfillment, when we find our happy place, that then is reflected on how we almost look after ourselves. You know, when we're feeling low, when we're tired, when we're sick, our self-care kind of almost goes out the window, doesn't it? Even if it's just temporary. But there's a sense here with this card that I'm just seeing you, Cancer, going, I just feel good about the world, myself. And it's reflected in the way she cares for herself, the way she shows up in the world. And I think that's really, really beautiful, Cancer. So I'm going to leave that there. Thank you, Spirit. Please bring the messages that Cancer needs to hear for January 2026. Thank you, Spirit. Are we taking them now? And that one? Thank you. So Cancer, how are you? How have you been navigating these energies? Not sure if we've got any more. Thank you, Spirit. I'm getting ready to start the new year. I'm still filming this in December. And some of these energies for January still feel a little bit the same as September. September. Oh, that's interesting. We'll see if we get a 9 time stamp in any of your cards for September. That's interesting. Maybe even going back to seeing what were you doing in September. It could have been a really pivot point, or maybe there's something there you need to revisit. Okay, we'll come back to that. How are we taking these? There. I can't make this up. There's your 9 and your first card out. Am I still going? Thank you, Spirit. When they fall out like that, I'm never quite sure how to pick them up sometimes. Oh, interesting. You don't have a lot of cards either, Cancer, compared to, you know, some of the others. I can't remember which sign it was, and they had something like 22 tarot cards. I was a little bit overwhelmed. Okay, so Cancer, just get the messages for you. We have the 9 of Pentacles, we have the 2 of Wands, the 10 of Wands, the 3 of Wands. I love this. Sorry, the 4 of Wands. I love this. We have the 8 of Pentacles, the 2 of Swords. We have the Tower, the Devil, and the Moon. Such interesting energies. We have 14, face your challenges head on, strength in the struggle. We have 6, transform hereditary pain, the past does not bind you. I think that, like, these cards are very much with this major arcana here at the end. The message that I'm getting straight up for you, Cancer, from this reading and from the energies and the messages that Spirit is giving me is January might not end up being the start of the year that you wanted. Okay, so we often start a new year and we're full of hope and joy and awe from it. It's kind of like, oh, out with the old you, interesting. I wanted to say out with the old year, and I said out with the old you. So twofold, out with the old year, let's bring in the new year with all its freshness. And I think that I got muddled when I wanted to say year and you came out. So there's almost a sense here, Cancer, in your reading that it's like out with the old you. And I'm going to start with the Major Arcana. Thank you, Spirit. There is something here about September. So September 2025, I do suggest you go back and have a look at what you were doing, what you were striving for, what you were hoping for. Where was I was going to say, where was your mind? And then I'm going, oh, Spirit, it's Pentacles. And they're like, yeah, but your mind operates in the tangible world. So where your mind is will then reflect on what's physically happening in your world. And for some of you, I'm getting health. Others, I'm getting money. Others, I'm feeling that you're striving for a form of independence, or you're striving for something. It's interesting energy because I really just want to sit with it. Like I just really want to pause and not talk and just dive into this energy. And Spirit was like, that's not what you need to do here. It's what Cancer needs to do here. So there's a sense of diving deep within you. And I feel it's got to do with healing, with things that might still be buried with this moon. But you notice this, or it's surfaced in September. Okay, it's a big stamp because, I said September instead of December, I think, or, and Spirit saying, it's almost like, it's a few times now that I've got muddled with my words. I said one word instead of the word I wanted to say. And it's not like they're big, long, complicated words. And there's a sense here that I think you are going to try to not see this. I think you might see this, and even as I'm doing this reading, you might go, oh, is it that? And then you might be like, no, I don't think so. No, it must be something else. I'll have to look into it. But for some reason, it's something that binds you to something. It's a thought pattern. It's a habit. The devil can be our addictions. But it's something that always simmers below the surface. And I love that the Tower is first, because if the Tower was last, it would tell me that you're not going to look at it, and so the Tower comes in and makes you look at it. And that's fine. Sometimes it has to happen that way. And maybe for some of you it will. This is a general reading. But I think for the majority of you, the Tower has either already fallen, And there's almost a sense of, I don't quite know what to do with it, with this Two of Swords. I don't quite know what I'm looking at. The major arcanas, Cancer, are how Spirit co-creates with us. So the minor arcana is the part that we play in co-creation, and the major arcana, for me, how I read the cards, is the co-creation with Spirit's part. And so there's a sense to here that with your Tower, your Devil, and your Moon card, you're being helped through this process. So if you're unsure, even if you maybe even see what it is, and you can acknowledge what it is, you might still not know how to navigate it. You'll be shown. And this Tower's going to knock the crown off something. It's going to knock either the glossy veneer that had you a little bit blinded with the sparkle, or it's going to knock the illusion, the moon, the shadows. It's going to knock, it's going to throw some clarity onto the shadows. It's going to sort of illuminate the illusions maybe. You won't be able to not see this is what Spirit's saying. They will make it perfectly clear. And the Devil's here because, Cancer, I don't think it's going to be easy. And I think for everybody, the beginning of 2026, we're still clearing our energy. We're still learning to navigate this version of ourselves that we have become that we don't know very well yet. And there's a sense that there's a little bit of uncertainty, and I've been saying, 2026 is going to be a year of trial and error. It's going to be a year of pivoting. It's going to be a year of change. Not like a 5-year. A 5-year is a full-on change, a redirection. Whereas I'm seeing 2026 as more like we pivot. It's like, I might just tweak it a little bit. Thank you, Spirit. That's the perfect word. It's going to be a year of tweaking. We're going to try things on for size and see how they fit. The Devil. Are we trying to be something that we're not? Are we still playing small? Do we feel that this new version of ourselves needs to be louder or softer or whatever it is, but that's not the case? And he'll show us. Because there's a level of understanding what the discomfort is. Because this is why it's going to be a year of trial and error, Cancer, because we can try things on for size, and we can be uncomfortable because it's like, ooh, there's a little part of us that loves it, but like, ooh, it's too much, but it is our true self. Sometimes we might try things on for size and be like, yeah, this is going to get me going. And then it's uncomfortable because it's actually not really us. So there's a sense here with the Moon of figuring that out as well. There's a dog and a wolf. And there's a sense here of the same but not the same. And I mean, that could be the dog and that could be the wolf. Really, I'm not actually 100% sure. So there's almost a sense that sometimes you won't know. You won't know as, am I forcing this? It's not really natural. But then when we try new things, you know, when we find a new style, when we do a new hobby, when we do a new job, we could love it and we could think, oh my God, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be doing this. I'm so happy to look this certain way or express myself this certain way. But it doesn't feel comfortable yet. And so it can feel a bit put on. It can feel a bit fake. So this moon card is saying, you know, we're going to need to be vigilant to see the difference, which is the truth. And sometimes we don't know that until we try it for a little bit. But Spirit is going to be right here with you, Cancer, guiding you, showing you. You will know. And I feel Spirit, you know, as I've been talking, I've been saying to Spirit, oh, it feels weird starting with these 3 cards. And Spirit's like, yeah, it does. It does. And there's different messages up here, and they've already been sort of starting to talk to me about up here. And I'm going, I don't understand why we didn't start up here. But there's a sense that this is the energy, Cancer, that Spirit wants you to keep coming back to. Keep asking. You know, those of you that talk to Spirit or your higher self or God in your prayers, in your meditations, just in your quiet moments, when you journal, ask. You know, I've recently, if you saw my introduction, that things are changing within my channel, and my YouTube channel, my work, the guidance corner, the guidance corner tarot. Now I'm going to blend them into one. I've cut my hair. I've started wearing lipstick, and I really sat down with Spirit and went, you know, I feel really silly. Why? But it means so much to me, and it makes me so happy. And for some weird reason, I want to talk about it. But I feel silly at the same time. I feel like, oh, it's ridiculous. And Spirit's like, no, it's because it's almost like a physical aspect of yourself, an aspect that you can see when you look in the mirror. You've enabled to come forth. And it's a reflection of inner aspects of yourself that you are now ready to bring out into the world. You are ready to be more open and honest about. I'm so sorry, Cancer. Everybody seems to be doing their garden this morning. We had ours done, house sitting in a block of flats, and they did ours, and I think the neighbours are doing theirs now. So I do apologise for the noise, but I'm going to keep going. And, you know, there's a sense here that Spirit will let you know, check in with them. Because the way we change on the outside is a reflection on how we've changed on the inside. And sometimes we're not exactly sure if that's an exact mix. If that's an exact match. And so, you know, we might try different things in the mix. We might trial and error. It's that year of trial and error, Cancer. It's so important that we stick with that knowing, because it will make such a difference. So we've got this nine of Pentacles. And with this card, there's very much this sense of you were building something. And maybe this stems back 9 months or back in September. See how it resonates, because it is a general reading. But you've been slowly building something. Look, you've got the 8 of Pentacles here. You've been slowly building something, but there's a realization almost like an aha moment that's saying, wow, I'm not sure about this now. Do you know, I'm going to stop the reading because it's just getting too noisy. So sorry about that, Cancer. I just had to pause it. It was, I think, too noisy, too disrupting. I don't like my readings to, you know, I want them to be a pleasant experience to listen to. Now, I've paused it and literally I've come back like 45 minutes later. So I've lost track a little bit about where we were. And like I said with Gemini, because the gardeners for this apartment block came, so I had to pause it. And same thing, I lost my train of thought a little bit. And, you know, Spirit tells me don't get frustrated with that. It's part of the reading. So there's a sense, Cancer, that something's going to shift in you that is going to create a disruption. So what can that look like? Being a general reading, it can be different for all of you, but it can be suddenly your plans change. And then you're like, oh, what now? Or, you know, an offer gets accepted. You might change jobs. You might get accepted or you might not. But there's something that comes in or maybe doesn't come in, and it changes things, and it kind of almost for a moment there you lose your footing, you lose your train of thought, you lose your trajectory that you were heading in. And Spirit's saying it's needed. Okay, so you know, when there's noise like that, I cannot explain to you how frustrating I find it. Or leaf blowers are the bane of my existence. The noise, I just find it just almost reverberates through me. And there's this sense that you're gonna hate it, but it ends up being this miraculous blessing. You know, and that could even be what this tower is. You might hate it, and you might look at it and think, oh my gosh, that's just the pits, and now what with this moon? But there's a sense that sometimes when we shake things up, that's when we see, that's when we, you know, Spirit's just shown me, I drink almond milk, and if I didn't shake it, you know, there's all sediment at the bottom, so at the bottom of the container, so it would be very watery. But when I give it a good shake and give it the time for it to get, you know, all put itself back together, if you like, then it's creamy and it's flavorful. And there's a sense here that the shake is going to enable you to put yourself back together a little bit differently. And that sounds very frightening, but Cancer, Spirit's saying it's not. You're going to take it in your stride because it's already something that you're actually aware of. It's already something that is you know, it's there. You might not have full access to it yet. You might not have full knowledge of it. You might not be acknowledging it yet. But it's there. It's in your vicinity. And it brings newness. It helps you look at something that you've been building and go, okay, what do I do with this now? You know what? How do I move forward with this? how do I tweak it so that I can receive, or so that I can give differently? You know, what am I putting out into the world, and what could I be putting out in the world? What am I putting out in the world, and what is the world trying to bring back to me that I'm blocking? And there is a sense here, Cancer, of putting something out into the world. And it's labor intensive. You know, you're working behind the scenes. You're trying to make something happen. And sometimes we can push, when in actual fact pausing is the easier option. Thank you, Spirit. It's not that it's the easier option, like you're taking the easy way out, Cancer. It is just the more aligned option. Okay? We've got, you know, 2 twos here, but the 2 are very, very different. This is very open to the world. This is very closed off to the world. That's how I'm seeing it in your reading. I don't always see the 2 of Swords like that. But in your reading, there's openness and willingness, and there's no. This is a yes. This is no. And there's a sense here that sometimes we do get caught up in the doing, especially when we've achieved a 9 of Pentacles. A level of independence, a level of, I know what I'm doing, and I'm feeling accomplished. I'm feeling like I'm starting to get somewhere. But we've got the Tower, the Devil, and the Moon. And there's a sense that something's wanting to change. And your outer world wants to change, Cancer, because your inner world has changed. You know, it's almost like they've both got their eyes closed, or one's blindfolded. But one of them is almost to not be distracted. She looks like she's not closed off. She's actually feeling very open. But her eyes are gently closed as to not to be distracted from her inner voice. Not to be distracted by the shiny pentacles. The promise of something that maybe happened long ago. This 2 of Swords doesn't want to see. And arms crossed like this. It's not open energy. There's an openness here. A willingness that I don't see in this 2 of Swords. And this 2 of Swords is feeling very fearful to me. And, you know, we are human, Cancer, with all the change and all the shedding and all the things we've been working through, you know, inner things, inner aspects of ourselves that we've been working through. We've had to dig deep with this Moon card. We've had to go to the bottom of our well. We've had tower moments that have redirected us abruptly and sometimes painfully. We've had to see how we as individuals hold ourselves back. This is an individual card. The Nine of Pentacles is my card of independence and being an individual, doing it your way. And there's a sense here with the Devil, it's like, okay, then in that aspect, I mean, it's beautiful. We find our footing, we find our place, but it can also become stubborn, and it can also become a habit. It can become something that we then hold on to. You know, this energy is forming a trademark. You know, it's discovering yourself anew. And what does that mean? You know, this is almost like, well, I used to think this of myself, and I believed this about myself, and I believed this about the world. And gosh, if I change all that, then I don't know how I fit anymore. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit just said to me, Cancer, there might be in the month of January a bit of a feeling of an identity crisis. Okay, where you don't quite fit into your old world, but your new world hasn't surfaced yet. And it's coming, but you don't see it yet. And in those moments of positivity, in moments of this energy here, there's a knowing. You know you're on the right track, even though your outer world does not reflect that at all. At all. You know. This nurturing in this card, Cancer, is the more you can nurture yourself on whatever level, the more you can just find something that lifts your spirits and makes you feel like you, not the old version, this new version emerging. Okay, a bit like me, got my hair cut, I've got my red lippy out, you know, and I'm a Cancer rising. And I'm almost getting the sense of those days where, you know, there will be those challenges to face head on. It sounds silly, but doing that self-care or putting on my red lippy is going to really help me, because it reminds me that I'm a new, I was going to say I'm a new person, and aspects of me are. I'm still Christelle, but there's old storylines and old ways of being that have fallen away in Cancer. That's the same for you. And so you're discovering yourself anew, and there's these little things that you're doing now that are different. Is it the way you eat what you eat? Is it the way you look? Is it the little things that you do just to make you happy? Have you started a new meditation process? Have you bought yourself some new body lotion or candles or something? It seems a little bit trivial, but it's going to have a very deep effect on you. And when you become uncertain, it's the thing that anchors you into who you are now. This Two of Wands is not holding on to both wands. There's one, you can't see it because of his cloak, but on the traditional tarot deck, this wand is actually attached to the wall. So he's let go of the past. That previous Ace of Wands has brought him so far, has enabled him to become who he is now. And now there's a new Ace of Wands calling him. There's a new passion, new drive. The world is his oyster and he knows that. But in order for him to embrace the world, he must leave the old behind. This Two of Swords is still holding on to the two swords, but which one? And the arms are crossed, so there can be confusion as to which is the yesterday sword and which is the now. You know, which one do I leave behind? So there is confusion. And with this kind of energy, it doesn't surprise me, Cancer. Something's coming in. And I think it's going to make you go, oh my gosh, what? And I think it's going to really, it's going to worry you, I get the feeling. You know, it's going to have you second guessing yourself. But then it transforms past pains. It transforms your past. And this says the past does not bind you. There's almost like the binds that were tying you down are just gone. They're just gone, Cancer. So whatever this is that is unpleasant, this card says face your challenges head on. Strengthen the struggle. So it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a little bit of a what the F moment I'm kind of getting. And this is 14. That's a 5. That's this Tower. That is change. That kind of pulls the rug out from under your feet a little bit and has got you questioning, oh my gosh, why? But it has such a blessing behind it. You go from a 5 to 6, this transformation. And 6 is about family and community and connection. It's very loving. It's very caring. It's like that warm hug after a 5. You know, it's like the love and the hug that flows in after a Tower moment. And what it's going to do for you, Cancer, this 10 of Wands that you've been lugging around, you're just going to drop it. Look, in your Pentacles, you go from a 9 to an 8. There's a re-evaluation. What you thought was going to get you ahead or was ahead actually wasn't. You know, you're going to come back to the drawing board and you're going to re-look at it again and build it anew. That's very much talking about the foundation here in this Tower card, and very much the foundation year of the number 1 year that we're working in 2026. And look, you've got the 10, which in numerology is the 1. There's going to be so many burdens that drop because of this. And yes, when the challenge hits you head on, you're going to be a little bit like, oh, what? I'm going to run and hide. But if you can face it head on and go, okay then, well, right, back to the drawing board. This is trying to hold on to both the past and the present. It's like, you know, a foot on either side of the line, if you like, Cancer. Which one are you going to choose? And this Two of Swords is telling me I am not choosing. I'm going to keep a foot on either side and kind of like just sit on the fence about it. And we can't. Because you don't have the World card, but you've got the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands is that portal. A bit like the World is the portal. And you've got joy and community and, you know, beautiful things on the other side of that. But here's your two. You need to be willing to look and go, okay then, there's been a massive restructuring of something. You know, this can be a partner leaving you. This can be being fired from our job. This can be closing down a business. This can be health issues. This can be moving but not to exactly where you want to be. And you know, it's funny because at the beginning it didn't feel this big, but now it feels kind of big. But it's a blessing. It's a real blessing because it's almost like what's going to happen instead of being burdened and just working and working for almost nothing, I get the feeling, though there was some level of success. But you know, I'm seeing this Nine of Pentacles now as almost like inner success, like you were proud of what you were doing, but maybe not the success out in the world. Maybe this is you working at a job that you love, but the pay's terrible, or maybe your colleagues or your boss are not really nice or good people to work for. Maybe the environment wasn't great. The job was great, but not the environment. Or maybe the people are great, but the job's not great. And so there's a sense that something kept you there, but it was a big burden to lug around. And there's almost like this sense of whatever sweeps in, whatever this tower moment is, there's a chance. Well, there's not a chance. Spirit's saying it's not a chance. It's happening. That 10 of Wands becomes the 2 of Wands. You're looking into the future now. You've let go of this sitting on the fence. I'm going to have one foot in and one foot out. This energy makes us complain. This energy makes us feel uneasy because we kind of feel that the tower could come at any time and knock us off the fence. You know, it makes us feel like, oh, we do have to hold on to things that we know are not good for us in order to sit on the fence. And we know that while we're on the fence, we're not operating from solid ground because we've got one foot in and one foot out. So there's a lack of commitment. There's a lack of oomph and drive. You know, it's like I'm not going to commit. So if it goes one way, I'll be okay. If it goes the other way, I'm going to be okay. And Spirit's like, nah. No. Sorry, Cancer. Sorry. Spirit, and this is a general reading, so I'm going to give you another way that this can go. If you're sitting on the fence doesn't feel really right, you could have thrown yourself into something, but maybe not in the right way or the right thing. Or maybe it's based on an old version of you or an old dream that you have, but there's a new dream trying to emerge. So we first must let go of trying to build that old dream, so we can dream anew with this 2 of Wands. And that leads to so much. It leads, you really will feel like you walked through this portal into a world that treats you and greets you and interacts with you in a completely different way. Because suddenly you're not showing up in the world like this, you're showing up in the world like this. Authentic. And this is dimming your light in some way, shape or form. This is super authentic. I'm going to be me first. and see how that aligns in the world, see what that aligns with in the world, but me first. And then you just draw to you everything that you need, and you are going to be amazed. Because in a very short time, Cancer, you are going to achieve so much more, and so much more easily than you did previously. You know, it's almost like this energy here has taken you years to build up. And suddenly it kind of feels like in a month or so, you're achieving things that you weren't before. And it's work, yes, but it's not this hard. It's not like trying to trudge up a hill. You know, it's work, and you will get tired, but it's aligned work, so it feels really good. You know, this Nine of Pentacles is a beautiful card, and Spirit's saying we're not trying to diminish what you were working on or how your life was in the past, but dragging it into your future is where the issue is. Because there's an aspect of you that kind of goes, this can't come with me. If I want this, this can't come because I'm different now. I'm a different person. And I can't sit on the fence. I can't pretend that, yep, I know what I'm doing. I think 2026 is going to be a year of knowing what we're doing and then not knowing what we're doing because we're pivoting, or because we've got new information, or because we're looking at what's working and what's not working. And there's a sense here I really want to point out: the past does not bind you. You are not tied to the past. We tie ourselves to the past. The past is not tied to us. The minute we let go of the past is gone. It has no desire to hold on to you. In fact, we hold on to illusion because the past is no longer there. And you're going to discover things about yourself that you hadn't come to realize yet. Strength in the struggle. And it's not just resilience. It's not just, it makes, you know, what doesn't break you makes you stronger. But there's almost a sense here of you come back to a nurturing aspect. So you're facing these challenges, you're letting go of the past. And transform hereditary pain, that's, you know, pain from generations. That's pain that you've been carrying with you from maybe your teens, your childhoods, your early 20s, you know. And the 6 is making me think of the 6 of Cups, you know, the very young energy. You're transforming a lot of pain. And in a way, if you allow yourself, Cancer, in a way that is really quite beautiful. Do not underestimate what looking after yourself in January can do for you. Okay, being there for you. Putting yourself first. If that means saying to people, look, you know what? I can't. Honor that. The only card that you've got with other people in it is this 4 of Wands, which shows me they're okay. They're fine. They'll be there when you come through this. But take your time, and do all those little things that make you happy. Do all those big things that make you happy. Spend time honoring yourself and your transformation and how far you have come, because it's going to mean a lot to you, Cancer. It's going to mean a real lot to you. And I think it makes this just that much easier, because that energy, you know, kind of brings you to this Two of Wands. What do I want now? What, you know, where's the world leading me? Okay, so we just got final letting go. So we've got 2 cards. Yeah, I love that. You know, it's like just splash yourself. Just, you know, when this becomes hard, just cool off. You know, have a shower, go to the beach, splash your face. It's almost like this. I have a little ritual that I do sometimes when I find energy's really heavy or when I'm struggling. You know, step in the shower and allow the shower, the water to run over me. And I imagine it cutting all the cords that bind me to things that are no longer are for me. And I also imagine the water going through me, cleansing everything inside of me as well, renewing my energy. And there's a sense that water's going to be quite important. Use it as a bit of a ritual. Allow it to cleanse you. Allow it to refresh you. Okay, so we have let go of fear through meditation. Purify yourself so you are a magnet for your true heart's desires. Oh, Cancer, I can't make this up. You know, this is just really look after you. Do those things that help you, because your true heart's desires is this Two of Wands. Let go of all limitations. You are creating a goddess through living your life. Who is she? Yes, yes. You can't sit on the fence with who you were and who you are becoming. Who you were needs to be let go of beautifully, gracefully, in prayer and meditation. And you know, do it in a, I've just got goosebumps all over me, do it in a symbolic gesture. Let her go, let him go. Who are you now? That's what's going to guide this whole transformation. Because this new you that is emerging and has begun to emerge doesn't want the old. It's ready for the new. It's ready to go through the portal into its next journey. And it's ready to do the work. So don't block it. Allow it. Allow it, Cancer. I'm going to leave you with those messages, my friends, sending you so much love and light. Take good care of yourselves. Nurture yourself. Love yourself in every sense and form that you can. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.